Hello, I'm Nick Schade, owner of Kayaks. I specialize in getting people into high-performance handcrafted wooden kayaks. I design kayaks and other small boats, drawing on my 40 years of experience taking small craft out onto big water to create exceptional boats. This is the first video in the series documenting my process of converting the idea of a new kayak into a physical vessel and taking it out on the water. I will be building my Petrel play design. I hope you will find this series inspirational and maybe even decide to build your own small boat. The plans for this kayak and others like it are available on kayaks.com, but the information provided in this series should be applicable to a wide variety of boats and designs. The boat building techniques shown in these videos is called strip building. This process involves taking narrow, thin strips of wood, bending them around forms, and gluing them together. Once the forms are completely covered with the wood strips, the surface is smoothed and covered with fiberglass cloth. This cloth is adhered to the wood with epoxy resin. This makes the wood shell strong enough to be removed from the forms. The interior is then smoothed further and reinforced with fiberglass. Various parts are added while the deck and hull are separate. The boat is then reassembled and after further sanding is ready for finish. This makes it all sound very simple, and in a sense it is. The process is a sequence of accessible steps that anyone with the desire to take on the project can reasonably be expected to perform successfully. Building a kayak using this technique can be done by a beginning boat builder without any experience in woodworking. That said, it does take some patience. As you will see while watching the following videos, there's a lot of individual steps. This is not instant boat building. This is a project you choose because the project itself is appealing to you. Before we dive into the actual process of making the Petrel Play kayak, I would like to introduce you to the design and give you some background into how I came up with the design of the Petrel Play and what it is designed to do. The Petrel Play is a 14-foot long, 23-inch wide kayak suitable for easy paddling on a small lake or bay, but it also is a lot of fun out in the open ocean in big waves and surf. I first started thinking about this design around 2004. At that time I was developing my original Petrel design. I was waffling between a long, narrow traditional sea kayak and a shorter, wider touring or crossover design. A short, wide kayak tends to be more maneuverable and easier to handle, but long and narrow is usually faster. Any boat is based on a series of choices and balancing various compromises. As I worked on the Petrel design, I sketched up long designs and played around with shorter designs. I ended up settling on a 17-foot long by 20-inch wide design that served my needs of traversing long distances efficiently while still being responsive for playing in tide races and surfing storm waves. Creating a new kayak is a process of iterating on earlier ideas. While working on the Petrel design, I took off from my Night Heron design, which incorporates Greenland Inuit kayak influences. These are combined with modern sailboat ideas and concepts borrowed from other contemporary kayak designers. The Petrel includes a transitioning chine. The chine is the area on the hull where the side becomes the bottom. This can be a sharp or hard angle or a rounded or soft curve. On the Petrel, the chine starts out rounded at the front and becomes hard behind the cockpit. The hard chine in back creates a control surface for surfing while keeping the bow looser so it is less likely to lock in on waves. The overall hull shape has fullness out into the ends, giving it a high effective waterline length for good efficiency, and also bolsters the stability in an otherwise narrow kayak. The Petrel is one of my favorite boats, but when I wanted to adapt it to stitch and glue construction, I thought I should also revisit my desire for a shorter, wider version. While longer boats are capable of moving faster through the water, at the speeds most people typically paddle, there is very little efficiency benefit in going longer than about 14 feet. Stitch and glue is another technique for building small boats and has the advantage of being quicker than strip building. By building with accurately cut plywood panels, I would be able to build a 14-foot version of the Petrel at the same time I built a 17-foot version. Going with a more plumb bow and stern shape allowed me to maximize the waterline length, giving as much speed potential as possible. I'm really pleased with the stitch and glue version of the Petrel Play, or what I call the Petrel Play SG. It is plenty fast enough to keep pace with 18-foot sea kayaks and is very quick and responsive playing in tide races. The short length makes it easier for my wife to handle, and the added width provides a bit of additional stability, making it very comfortable in conditions. While I really like the Petrel Play SG, I personally like strip-built designs better. I think they look better, and the narrow strips offer more design freedom than the plywood panels. I really wanted to get back to the strip plank idea I had years ago. I was finally able to fit the project into my schedule last year, primarily by finding a customer who wanted me to make him a strip-built Petrel Play. Let's take a look at exactly what this design has going for it. Again, the design is 14 feet long, and the plumb-bound stern, the waterline length is just about full length. The boat is fast. In sea trials, my friends and I were able to sprint the Petrel Play SG up to 8, nearly 9 miles per hour. That's over 7 knots or around 13 kilometers per hour. Obviously, this is a sprint and can't be sustained for long, but the design cruises along nicely at 4 miles per hour. At 23 inches wide with a fair amount of flare, the design is quite stable and with good initial and secondary stability. The flare continues up to the bow, providing reserve buoyancy. Like the Petrel Play has a transitional chine that hardens up behind the cockpit. With a slight leaning into the side flare, you can turn the boat very quickly. The cockpit is recessed at the back to stay out of the way when you lean back, which allows easier rolling for those who wish to learn. The flat area on either side of the front of the coaming provides a comfortable place to brace your thighs, and knee braces can be incorporated if you want extra support. The feature line or chine extending forward is placed to maximize the room where you need it without creating an overly high deck that would catch the wind. Below the feature line, the deck slopes away, creating a narrow catch area for your paddle so you won't have to reach out too far to the side, allowing for a relaxed, comfortable, and efficient paddling posture. That feature line continues forward where your feet are, providing plenty of room for paddling booties. The high bow cuts cleanly through the waves, then drops down to minimize windage, creating a graceful profile. The finished weight of the boat is about 31 pounds, which is approximately 14 kilograms. Despite its light weight, I have found strip-built boats to be very durable and tough. I don't baby my personal kayaks, and they absorb a lot of abuse. I'm very pleased with this design and think a lot of other people enjoyed it as well. If you want to do relaxing paddling in sheltered conditions, the lightweight 14-foot length and comfortable stability will be a lot of fun. Personally, I like going out into rough, active waters, and I can say the Petrel Play is a hoot. In the next video in this series, I will start milling the wood to make the kayak. I'll cut out the building forms and set them up. I hope to release a new video every week or so, but if you want to be kept up to date on the process, please subscribe to my YouTube channel via the link provided. Also, if you are interested in building a Petrel Play or another kayak yourself, follow the links to my website where you will find plans and instruction books. Thanks for your interest, and I hope you enjoyed this series. Happy paddling!